Hey guys, what's up? It's Nsimba here. Thank you so much for joining me on the Vision Board podcast. Welcome. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Vision Board podcast. Again, we have a special guest. This person, I've had the pleasure to see him in person many, many times, and I would like to introduce Dwayne Morgan. Hi, Dwayne. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent. Very happy to be here.
I'm so grateful that you got to hop in. I know that we went back and forth, like you got busy schedule, so it's kind of been like hard to get to you. But I would definitely want to ask you the first question is one thing someone does not know about Dwayne Morgan.
Um, I think the thing that most people don't know is that I'm, a shy introvert. Most people see me out and about on stage or, in a certain context. So, it doesn't look that way, but more my comfort zone is just being in quiet space and being, kind of to myself and thinking and observing the world around me.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I don't ever get that vibe that you're, shy. I know for the people who don't know, Dwayne Morgan is a writer, speaker, two-time Canadian Poetry Slam champion, Scarborough Walk of Fame inductee. I mean, he's a photographer. He's an event producer. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, Dwayne, how would you describe what you do in like a sentence? Like you do so much. It's like it's hard to just put you in a box sometimes.
Yeah. So, it's always difficult to try to figure out, who I am and explain that to people. I think I just take ideas and I find ways to communicate those to people. So that could be through an event, through a poem, through a photo, whatever. It's really just a matter of being a conduit between ideas and people.
Yes. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Dwayne, so what are you looking to do more of in 2023? I mean, this is the Vision Board podcast. We would love to know that.
So for 2023, I'm already off to a good start in this realm, but I really want to travel more, especially now that the world is opened back up again to get back on, airplanes and stuff and
Oh yeah.
see more of the world, and especially seeing Africa. Well, no, this dog doesn't want me to be great. Seeing Africa as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
Different parts of Africa. So, in December, I went to Uganda for the first time. I just came back from South Africa.
Oh, that's big.
In June, I'm going to Kenya and Zanzibar. So, one of the other things I really want to do is normalize, people who were born here in Canada going to Africa, because it's not, we always talk about England and France and wherever,
Snaps.
and we never think of Africa as a place that's at the top of our list. And I think with the things I've seen and the things I've learned about myself from being on the continent, it's just so important to encourage as many more people to get there as possible.
Yeah, right. Like I know like a lot of people from like back in my country, they think, okay, the dream is to come to America, North America or South America, but they don't know that our dream is to go back home. So it's kind of like interesting how you point this out, and that's beautiful. So your biggest aha moment, I'm pretty sure you touched a bit about that, but like what would be your biggest aha moment in your career so far?
Um, I think the biggest thing really was learning that my thoughts, ideas, and words mattered. When you're an introvert, it's very easy to convince yourself that nobody cares about what I think, so then it just allows you to just be quiet and to not speak up and to not say anything because you've convinced yourself that nobody cares. I think once I learned that what I say matters and has an effect on people and impacts, lives and how people see themselves and see certain situations, then I was like, oh, okay, I can't hide behind that excuse anymore. I have to put myself out there, and I have to say certain things, and I have to be that person. And I think so much of what I've done and who I've become is as a result of understanding that what I thought didn't matter
Mhm.
actually really matters.
Oh, that's amazing. And obviously we're grateful to have you at the Vision Board podcast. Um, like I have one more question before I ask the biggest question, but any advice for a younger person like me or anybody else looking to get into art, what would you like advise them to do? I mean, there's so many art forms of art.
Mhm.
What would you advise them to do if they're trying to get into your lane of poetry or arts?
Well, I mean, the arts is one of those things where, first of all, you're going to have family more often than not that doesn't encourage you to do it. So
Hmm.
that's going to be the first battle, is how badly do I want it? Because if you really want it, the first battle is going to be with the people closest to you who are like, no, you should do something more stable, more predictable, et
Hmm.
cetera, et cetera. So that's going to be, you have to be willing to fight that first battle, and make sure that you really want it enough to actually, do that fight. Because the first fight is going to be with the people closest to you, and not because they don't necessarily believe, but the world that we live in says these are the things that you need to be stable, successful, et cetera, et
Hmm.
cetera. And the arts is never in that conversation.
Hmm.
The arts is always seen as the bottom of the barrel in terms of choices, except when certain things happen, then we turn to artists, which is always
Hmm.
a dichotomy, right? Because when you think about it, how many people survived COVID because of art, because of artists, because of music, because of TV, because of movies, because of
Hmm.
poetry, because of all of these things that artists were able to do and give. People were like, yo, the arts are keeping us alive, keeping us sane. But nobody funds the arts. Nobody does, all of those kinds of things. So it's a very interesting, dichotomy. So first of all, you have to figure out, how much do I believe in my idea of who I
Yes.
believe that I have the potential to be? Am I willing to fight with the people closest to me for this dream? Because
Yes.
not everybody can see, but not everybody has vision. So,
Well said. Yeah.
not everyone is going to see your vision, right? Your vision might be
Exactly.
something that only you can see, right? So here you are fighting, trying to explain something to people that you're the only person who can see this thing. So then you have to ask yourself, okay, this vision that is so real, so clear to me, am I willing to fight and do whatever it takes to achieve this vision, to make this vision real? And
Mm.
then from that, you have to be good. Whatever it is that you're doing, you have
Greatness.
to be
I mean,
good.
it's
You
the
have
only
to,
way.
yeah, you have to put in the work to be good, but to also know that you're on the road to being better, right? So it's a
Oof.
journey, right? It's not, it's like, yo, I'm good at this, but in order for this to be sustainable, I have to get better at this. And then
Yes.
you're gonna bring people on that journey with you to moving from good to better.
Spoken like a true poet. You are a huge inspiration to me. I got the chance to read one of your books and I saw one of your TED Talks on YouTube. I want everybody to check it out. It's called We. It's similar to the gaming console. You did a reference
Mhm.
point to that. And I want to say congratulations on your Scarborough Star inductee. I was actually there. I saw you, I saw Rendell, and I saw a lot of great poets and entertainers. And that's such a great moment for you, I'm pretty sure. Like you
Mhm.
said, arts is not something that people like say, okay, so your parents don't advocate for you, like they don't support you until you do something like this, or until you fund, or until you get a co-sign or a deal, or it's like
Mhm.
publishing. And I guess it's soon gonna, the tables will soon turn, and we're starting to see that right now, that people need arts more than ever, and we're starting to see a lot more programs happening, and we're starting to see a lot more people like you um opening events and like opening platforms, which is important. And thank you so
Mhm.
much for doing what you do. I know you got a busy schedule. It's like having you on here is like, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Thank you so much, Dwayne. our final question here at the Vision Board podcast would definitely be, um, we would love to end it with a beautiful soundtrack. I do this with everyone, and it's like I want you to think about your favorite song right now, a song that describes you or a song that you're feeling. It doesn't have to be a song. It could also be a cappella, anything. How do you feel right now, Dwayne? What is that soundtrack of your life?
Wow. I mean, that's a great question. I think it would probably have to be Redemption Song by Bob Marley.
Wow.
And I think because even going back to what I was saying about going to Africa,
Yes.
I've been to South Africa twice now, and each time I've brought a group with me. It was Come to South Africa with Dwayne Morgan. So I've been responsible for bringing a little over 30 people to the continent.
Can we get some snaps? Like, seriously, this is what we do when we're at poetry events, just snaps. That's pure generosity right there, humanitarian ship.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But I think just to continue on that is that when you listen to the words of Redemption Song, so much of the reason why I've brought and want to continue bringing people to the continent is because of, mental slavery. It's because of how we've been brainwashed to see ourselves, Africa, our potential, all this kind of stuff. And, South Africa is a great gateway into the continent of Africa because it's so developed that it's not a culture shock for people. So they get some ideas of Africa, but they also get, this Western influence and stuff. So it's an easy first step, onto the continent. And to be with people who've been told that Africa is only, poverty and starvation and war.
No.
And, you drive down a street and there's a BMW dealership and this guy's driving a Mercedes and all of these things that nobody ever told you that any of those things have anything to do with Africa. And to see people open up to the possibilities or to the unlearning of what they have been taught about themselves and where they come from is such a great manifestation of the message in Redemption Song.
Well said. Is there anything else you would like to add? Your social medias? How can people find you? And any last words you have for the Vision Board podcast? We always appreciate your time, always your effort.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I appreciate you being you inviting me on and us sharing this this time to chit chat. My socials are real easy. It's just Dwayne_Morgan, DWAYN_Morgan. Website DwayneMorgan.ca, and that's it. I'm easy to find.
There you go. We will add it to the descriptions. Dwayne Morgan, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great day. Take care. We'll send you off a Vision Board podcast. You have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Triumphantly, won't you help the